The US government, full of liars itself, has been precisely scammed by the very company it supported. Obama, Trump, and Biden were all involved. Let's start with the video. It's a promo clip from MP Materials, the only rare earth company still operating in the US. It's been hyped up as America's hope to regain control over rare earths. A real-life scam starts from here. It begins in 2010. Back then, China was still relatively weak. Japan tried to encroach on Chinese territory, so China responded with rare earth export controls. Within 3 months, global rare earth prices shot up tenfold. Japan then teamed up with the EU and the US to sue China at the WTO to force it to lift the controls. In 2014, China gave in and removed all export quotas. Ironically, this move destroyed America's only rare earth company at the time, Molycorp. Molycorp was founded in 1950 and owned the Mountain Pass mine in California. At its peak, it controlled 80% of global rare earth market, but the company got lazy, relying on high prices. And back then, the whole West blockaded China from access to rare earths and other technologies, so China has no other option but to invest and develop its own rare earth technology and quickly surpassed the US. With China's cheaper, more advanced production and tightening US environmental rules, Molycorp declined. The Obama administration tried to revive it with a $2 billion Phoenix project, but interestingly, at the same time pushed China to remove export quotas. Prices collapsed, Chinese rare earths dominated, and Molycorp went bankrupt in 2015 with $17 billion in debt, less than a year after they forced China to comply. In another word, they killed themselves. When the US rare earth industry was effectively dead, MP Materials, the scammer, appeared. In 2017, after Trump took office, MP offered to inherit the mantle and rebuild the domestic rare earth supply chain. Trump loved it, green lights everywhere, special policies, and a sweetheart deal. The huge Mountain Pass mine was sold to MP for just merely $20 million. But during the approval process, the Trump administration found that one of MP's 4 major shareholders was a Chinese company, Shenghe Resources. CEO James Litinsky explained that Shenghe only held 7.7% and had no voting rights, just a business corporation. Trump's team accepted the explanation. MP then received $9.6 million in federal grants, tax breaks, and you may not believe it, even Biden continued to support MP. By 2024, Biden announced a 25% tariff on Chinese rare earth magnets, proudly claiming America has its own rare earth industry now. But MP immediately decided it would also raise prices by 25% on US buyers because of higher costs. Biden was totally stunned. He was even not sleepy anymore and ordered an investigation. The US Geological Survey gave out a report. In 2024, MP mined 45,000 tons of rare earth ore, but exported 43,000 tons, 96% of it to China. Chinese companies processed it, then sold the refined materials back to MP, which then marked up the price and sold it to American buyers. In other words, MP never planned to refine the materials itself. It didn't even have the technology. It used the US subsidies and policy favors to act as a middleman between China and American industries, pocketing profits while leaving the strategic risk to the government. The US thought it was supporting a core technology company. In reality, it backed a trading scammer that relied on China to do the actual work. The irony even deepens. CEO Litinsky is a former Wall Street hedge fund manager. Litinsky shrewdly exploited the short-sightedness of US politicians, Obama, Trump, Biden, who all wanted quick wins. He understood the strategic gap between America's rare earth ambitions and its technical weakness, and built his scheme on that. The real value of the mine wasn't profit, it was being the only game in town, that alone guaranteed endless government support. The story ends in almost a surreal fashion. On July 10, 2025, the Pentagon spent $400 million to buy MP's preferred stock, becoming the company's largest shareholder. Unbelievably, Litinsky wasn't arrested. He's still CEO. In China, someone pulling a scam like this would face life in prison or even the death penalty. Amazing USA. And here's the most absurd part. MP Materials is now essentially a state-owned company. So if capitalist America ends up turning its rare earth industry into a state-owned enterprise like a communist America, is it still the same America, which they call a democratic America? Follow me on Eastern Perspective to see the world.